All right, so this is the 2 month update on my Fluval 15 gallons, what's it called, Flex. I did some moving around. I wound up removing some, I think it was Ludwig, red Ludwig. It was on the right side here. And it was just too big for this tank. It was too small. The leaves were too big. The color was beautiful. It had red underneath the leaves, and but it just made my tank too dark, and it was too crowded. I think I had 5 or 6 of them in that corner, right corner, and it was so dense, and you couldn't really see much, and it blocked a lot of the light. I don't know if you can see down here, but my sturgeon right there is where it was in the shade from the Ludwig, and you can see it's compared to everything else. Look how lush it is up here in the front. I mean, it's so thick you can't even get your fingers in between it practically. I did a little bit of trimming yesterday. I should probably trim a little more, but like I said, it's so dense. It's hard to get the scissors down low. I didn't want to damage nothing, but. So I removed the Ludwig. I moved some of my bokeh. These were the bokeh. The pieces here you see the bokeh on the right side were actually cut from the left side. That's how tall they were. They were growing out of the top of the tank, and they stood up about 3 or 4 inches. But then just from gravity, they were laying on top of the water from that point. And I cut them. I cut them down. And I moved them to this side, and I just think it looks a little more open. There's a lot more light coming through now. I think everything else will be doing a lot better because of that, and I just like it. It looks a little more clean, not as cluttered as it was. I forget what type of plant this is in the center. I bought a bulb. And I want to say it's a kind of lily, but it had really long leaves that came all the way up to the top. Or should I say long stems with a leaf on top that came all the way up to the very surface. And I trimmed all those down as well. It looked like a big old nest. Everything was intertwined, and been busy with school, so it was kind of tough. And but I think it only took me like an hour, maybe an hour and a half tops. But all my fish are doing well. They seem to like it. They're a lot more active now that I cleaned it up some. And those are white clouds. I have 5 white clouds, and then my awesome beta, call him Glory. He's red, white, and blue. And he's doing well. He doesn't mess with the fish at all now. When I first put him in the first day, he kind of vibed them a little bit. He chased them around. But the white clouds just, they're quick. They just duck and dodge. Actually, there's 6 white clouds. So I got 6. They just, avoid him. They're getting out of his way. And he chased them around the first day, but I think he was just curious more than anything. And then halfway through the first day, he seemed all tuckered out. He was just gasping for air down here from chasing them around. And he just gave up. And ever since, he just lets them be, and they just stay out of his way. When he's on one side, they move to the other side. And haven't had any issues with them. So I know a lot of people say you can't put anything in there with a male beta, but everyone says it depends on your beta too, how aggressive he is. My beta was really young. I think when I got him, he was only 2 months old, 2.5 months old, and when I added these fish, he was still less than 3 months, and I think that helped too, that he was young and not such a dominant male. He may get more aggressive as he ages. I don't know. Some people say that happens too, but we'll see. We'll handle it if that's what happens. But so far so good. No issues. He does like to get down here. I have some purple or blue velvet shrimp in here, and I'm wondering if he's looking for him because he sticks his nose down in between the sturgeon, and sometimes he like wiggles his way in between the sturgeon and then pops up on this side, where he thinks he pops up, but really he's just skimming in between. And he seems to like to lay on the sturgeon. Sometimes I find him sleeping. I thought he was dead a couple times because he was just laying on the sturgeon, but he was sleeping. And occasionally I find him laying on one of these leaves, sleeping as well. So he seems to be enjoying the tank, and he seems to be very comfortable. He doesn't seem stressed. My other fish don't seem stressed. They're ready to eat. I usually feed them when the lights come on at 11, so that's why everyone's kind of huddled around the center here. That's usually where I feed, up here, right in the middle. And but we'll handle that after I'm done with the video. But so far so good. This light, let me see if I can turn on the main light. But this is a Fluval HD, I believe. It's got the Bluetooth technology where you can't even read nothing on top of that light. But I'm pretty sure it's the Fluval HD, I believe. They make a freshwater version and a saltwater version. This is the freshwater version. I think I got it from saltwateraquariums.com, and it was pretty good price. I think I paid $69 for it. Normally, I think it was like $85 or $86. When I bought it, was on sale. That worked out. So this light I've had for 2 months, and you can see my sturgeon, everything filled in, everything's growing in well. I'm also running CO2, pretty light. I got this CO2 system set up when I first set up the tank. This is a Aquatech, and it's the mini version that attaches directly to paintball cylinders. So I think I got it for, I want to say $70 on eBay, and it works fantastic. I changed out the bubble counter. My other one seemed to quit. It wasn't consistent. The bubbles would work, like, see how nice and consistent they're going right now? Well, halfway through the day, I'll come back and it would be stopped, and I'll have to readjust it. And for the first 2 weeks, it kept stopping. Like, it would be working fine, and then it would stop. And so I just replaced the bubble counter, and it seemed to be working fine now that I did that. But I've had this bottle for 2 months now. I got it when I set the tank up in my, I think it's a 20-pound tank, holds 20 pounds. And it's still very full. And I have the timer on it to run from 11 to 8:30, 8 o'clock, I think. Just like a half hour before lights go out. And it's working well and consistent. And I think I only paid I paid $20 for the tank, and then I paid $4.75 to fill it. And I've already gotten 2 months in a 15-gallon with good results. And it's only cost me $4.75, $245 roughly, $240 a month, and it's working great. And I'm still got probably another 2 months to go on this 20-pound tank. So, anyone that's got a nano tank, I think this is well worth it, worth the $70 investment, because after that, you're talking maybe $15-20 a year for CO2. If that, I'm thinking I got another 2 months easy out of here. So, anyways, that's about all the upgrades I did. I take it back. I'm running a UV light, which I got back here, and I run it for 4 hours a day. It's off right now, so I can pull it up. But I just got it sitting in this bay, and with the heater, and that light kicks on, like I said, for 4 hours. Usually run between 3 and 7, and just kind of help keep the algae down. I got some autos in here that are doing a good job, but I still get a little bit of algae occasionally, usually down around the wood, on the woodwork here. It's, for some reason, it tends to grow on there. But the CO2 helps, and the autos are cleaning up after the fact. So that it's working well, the combined. And then I got some snails. I didn't buy any snails. Those snails came in on a plant, hitchhiked, and but I don't mind. They're cleaning everything they can get themselves on. I see them on the leaves all the time, and I don't have any. They're not eating any of my plants, so that's my only concern. As long as they're not damaging my plants, and they're not, I don't have a single hole in any of my plant leaves. So they're all right in my book. I don't mind them. So, but that's about it. Everything else is going well. I'm really pleased with how it's turning out. And that's about it. I'll keep you all updated on any changes I make, or in another month or two, and we'll see how things persist. I thought about reworking it a little bit, like re-scaping in December. But after making that move, after just trimming and moving that Ludwig from the back, the red Ludwig, I think I'm good. I kind of like the way it looks now. I'm kind of happy. I really wanted an island effect, and I think this plant combined with I don't know if you can see it, but there's some rock work behind the plant, like right around the plant and the wood. You can see the woodwork too that's around the plant. Kind of give it that effect. It gives it that little island effect, and then the green behind it on the sides kind of give it good contrast to really make that island stand out, I guess, pop. And it's a sanctuary, for the shrimp and for the smaller fish. They kind of hang out in there. And it's looking all right. I think I'm good. I think I might leave it like this for a while, anyways, and go from there. All right. Well, thanks for watching. Any comments? Feel free. Thanks. Still new to this planting tank, so feel free to comment. Thanks. Bye.